In the quiet heart of Stoic thought, there is a truth both liberating and difficult to accept. Love, like every blessing of life, must not be demanded. To ask for love is to place your happiness in the hands of another, to surrender the fortress of your mind to forces beyond your control. The Stoics remind us that freedom lies not in obtaining what we desire, but in mastering the desire itself. Epictetus once said, "Seek not for events to happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do, and you will go on well." Love is no exception. When we chase it, beg for it, or cling to it, we are no longer free. We are bound by invisible chains, pulled by the shifting moods and affections of another soul. But when we stand whole within ourselves, love becomes not a necessity but a gift. To demand love is to distort its nature. Love cannot be wrestled from another's heart without losing its purity. It is a flame that must kindle of its own accord. To force it is to suffocate it. To plead for it is to reveal we do not yet possess that inner abundance from which true love flows. Love as a mirror of the inner life. The affection we seek in others is often a reflection of what stirs within. If our inner world is restless, hungry for validation, then no embrace, however sincere, will fill the void. The Stoic understands that the truest love begins with the soul's harmony. Epictetus reminded us, it is not things themselves that disturb men, but their judgments about them. When this insight takes root, we see that the love we desire is shaped by our expectations, fears, and illusions. The more we demand it, the more it eludes us. The less we depend on it, the more freely it comes. The path to love is the path to self. The Stoic path is one of self-knowledge and self-acceptance. Until we know ourselves, until we are at peace with our own company, we cannot fully love another, nor receive love without fear. Self-understanding means no longer searching in others for what we can only find within. Seneca advised, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." If we are to be worthy of love, it is not by petitioning for it, but by embodying the virtues that naturally draw it near. When we become whole, love arrives as a consequence, not a conquest. Love and patience. Love does not rush. It ripens like fruit under the patient sun. All that is true in life requires time to grow. To ask for love is to demand a harvest before the seed has sprouted. Such haste breeds disappointment. Marcus Aurelius observed, "Patience is the companion of wisdom." The Stoic's patience is not passive waiting, but an active, steady trust in the nature of things. Love, when it is real, moves at its own pace, unaffected by our urgency. We must give it the space to breathe. The gift of solitude. Solitude is not a sentence, but a sanctuary. In it, we hear the quiet voice of the soul and cleanse our mind from noise. Without solitude, love too easily becomes dependency. The one who fears being alone will cling to illusions of love, accepting even what diminishes them. But the one who has made peace with solitude is free. They do not fear the loss of another because they have learned that their own company is sufficient. And in this freedom, the possibility for genuine love arises. Love and the freedom of the other. True love respects the freedom of the other. The Stoic does not seek to possess, control, or reshape. They accept. Love should not be a chain, but an open field. To love without grasping is difficult, for it demands strength. The strength to recognize that another person is never our property. Seneca reminds us, "He who is brave is free." To grant freedom in love is to love more purely, without expectation or coercion. Breaking the chains of expectation. Requests, demands, and expectations are chains that weigh down the soul. In casting them off, we find lightness and peace. Happiness lies not in securing love, but in releasing dependence upon it. For the Stoic, love is not the source of joy, but one of its adornments. Encounter as a gift, not a reward. When we stop asking, we stop expecting. Every encounter with love becomes a gift, not a prize to be won. We cease to imagine that love is something we deserve. Instead, we accept it as part of life's unfolding. The Stoic wisdom is to be whole in oneself and open to others, to let love arrive of its own will, and to receive it with gratitude, not grasping hands. The nature of what is not in our control. The heart of Stoic philosophy rests on the division between what is within our control and what lies beyond it. Our choices, our values, our judgments, these belong to us. The feelings, thoughts, and affections of another, these do not. To demand love is to trespass into territory not ours to govern. It is to reach for the helm of another's soul, as though we could steer it with our own will. But no wise mariner tries to control the wind. He sets his sail and accepts the breeze as it comes, whether gentle or fierce. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment. This is the essence of meeting love naturally. We welcome it when it arrives, and we release it when it departs, understanding that neither its presence nor its absence determines our worth." The trap of self-persuasion. There is a subtle danger in convincing ourselves that we are unloved unless someone tells us otherwise. The mind, in its hunger for affirmation, can invent reasons to feel neglected. But these thoughts are not truth. They are shadows of our own insecurity. The Stoic sees that worth is not measured by the affection of others, but by the steadfastness of one's own character. Epictetus warns us, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." If we are to live wisely, we must be prepared to let others misunderstand us, even in matters of the heart. When love departs, it is a great trial to see love fade. Yet to hold it back is to fight against the current of nature. The Stoic does not try to dam the river. He steps aside and lets it pass, knowing that the flow of life is constant. Seneca said, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." In accepting the end of love, we do not deny our pain. We simply refuse to be ruled by it. The heart may ache, but the mind remains steady, anchored in what is unshaken. The strength of non-need. There is a profound power in needing nothing. To need nothing is not to reject life's pleasures, but to no longer depend on them for peace. When love is no longer a need, it becomes free to be a joy, an addition to life, not its foundation. Love offered to one who does not crave it burns with a purer flame. It is not born from pity or obligation, but from genuine admiration and harmony. Cultivating the garden within. We spend much of our lives tending gardens that are not our own, seeking to plant seeds in another's heart, hoping they will bloom. The Stoic tends first to the garden within. If we cultivate virtue, clarity, and calm, the beauty of our life will attract what belongs to it without striving. Epictetus put it plainly. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Love will find a garden in bloom far more readily than barren soil demanding rain. Love and the moment. To demand love is to stand in the future, imagining what should be. The Stoic stands in the present. In this moment we breathe, we act, we think. This is our realm. The future, like the feelings of others, is beyond our grasp. Marcus Aurelius reminds, "Confine yourself to the present. The love that truly belongs to us will meet us here, in this moment, without our chasing it." The quiet power of indifference. Indifference in the Stoic sense is not coldness, but freedom from the tyranny of desire. We neither beg for love nor flee from it. We are open, yet unbound. This quiet power confuses those who believe love must be pursued relentlessly. To meet another as an equal soul, neither needy nor possessive, is to honor both them and ourselves. Letting the world surprise you. When we stop asking, we make space for life to surprise us. Love that arrives unbidden carries a different quality. It is light, effortless, unforced. It feels as natural as the morning sun breaking over the horizon. Seneca teaches, expecting is the greatest impediment to living. In anticipation of tomorrow, it loses today. The Stoic lives today, and if love visits, it is welcomed like an honored guest who appears at the door without warning.